What would your life look like if you started to live with intentionality in your actions and intentionality with your day? And how would that transform the way that you live? So if we think about intentionality and really what is it, it's based on the fundamental skill of self-awareness. So understanding the internal landscape of our being and tapping into truly what's important for us. What is it that we're potentially avoiding? And then being able to communicate that in a way to ourselves so we understand why it's important and why it's something that we need to prioritize in our life. Intentionality can come through many different forms. The way that I like to work with it is it's somewhat informal, and it's really around just taking the space with myself and setting an intention for something that I want to create, something that I want to accomplish during the day, or something that I want to work towards. And when we can bring our present awareness to understanding what's important and prioritizing those things in our day, in our week, in our month, in our year, it allows our mind to start to prioritize these things because we have identified them, named them, spoken them out loud, written them down. And it allows our brain to start to really organize around how do we manifest this intention to something that's truly tangible and that's going to support our growth and moving forward. And it can be, it's a really easy thing to do, and it's not woo-woo. It's truly powerful, because once you speak something into the world, something that's important to you, and you say, hey, this is my intention for the day, this is what I want to have happen, this is how I want to show up. It's a subtle reminder that lives in the background of our psychology as we move through the day, and the distractions that are going to become present. And I feel like for myself, my being starts to, and my actions start to organize around the intentions that I create for myself, because I've understood, I've taken the time to prioritize them because they are important and they're purposeful in my day, and they're purposeful because they're getting me closer to the ultimate desired outcome or destination. Not that that's what we want to be focused on, but it allows us to organize our activity and our being around what we're being intentional about. And I think this is really important because with self-awareness being the starting point for living an intentional life, being intentional and setting intentions with ourselves around what's truly important is really what allows us to get into action, right? Because once we understand the purpose or the why behind something, it allows us to bridge that gap into actually taking the physical actions that we need to realize those intentions in our life. So it starts with awareness, it moves to intention, and then then we can move into action. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, right? They want to get moving, they want to get going, but they haven't taken the time to, tap into their awareness to understand what's important and why is that important. And this is just what we need. So when we move into action, we have a reason to move into action, because if we haven't thought it through, and we haven't taken the time to set an intention with something or a goal, we can be very scattered because we don't know where to start in our actions. And even if we were to start, we haven't really realized the fundamental importance of what we're doing because we just haven't worked through that process. And so, this process of intention setting, it doesn't have to be, grandiose or time consuming. We just have to have the momentary awareness when something is important to us and maybe we're skipping over it, that we just take a breath, take a look at what our thought is trying to tell us, what our mind is trying to tell us about what's important, realize that it is something important, and maybe we have been skipping over it, and maybe we're just worried about it because we haven't thought about it. But then just taking the time to really cement that in our plan moving forward, hey, I'm setting the intention to be this, or I am setting the intention to complete this, or I am setting the intention to go to this thing at this time. It just allows us to prioritize and organize our day, because we're bringing awareness to these different pieces of our life that aren't getting our attention. And when we skip over things that are important to us and that we want to, that we do want to act on, but for some reason we're not, the process of intention setting can really just smooth that process of actually getting momentum and getting into action around the things in our life that we want to create. And again, it's such a simple thing, and it's such a small time investment. The more that we can be intentional with our daily life, the easier things are going to get, because again, it's like we have a thought, we tap into our self-awareness, we set an intention for whatever it is that we're looking at, and then we just release it. You just release it, because our mind is going to sort of start to organize around that intention, and it's going to be present with you throughout the day, and it's going to allow things to move a lot smoother. So, I think being intentional with everything in your life is sort of where you want to get to, but just start with small intentions, right? When something is important and you don't want to skip over it, just become grounded, get in your body, set an intention, whatever that may be, release it into the world, and go about your day and see what happens. It's a powerful tool, and something that can benefit so many people, in that it's based on the foundation of self-awareness, and it's going to allow you to move into action a lot sooner than if there was no intention from the offset. So anyways, just a thought around that, something that I utilize in my life and that really helps smooth the flow of things.